Hello and welcome to our webinar, AI plus Cybersecurity, Navigating Your Role in Rapidly Changing Landscape. I'm Asil. I'm the campus director for Willis College Online. I'm your host and moderator for today's session. Thank you all for joining. So for today, after some quick introductions, and I promise you, it will be quick. We have lots of time to review the program content and Q&A. We have guest speakers, industry partners with us. A little bit about Willis. Willis College is one of the Canada's oldest career colleges, known for early focus on business and secretarial skills. Now, with modern focus on training in high demand areas such as cybersecurity and artificial intelligence, much of our emphasis goes around those advanced trainings. In year 2026, Willis College will celebrate its 160th anniversary. With further ado, let me get going with the navigation. Our webinar experience, like I said, you'll have a lot of opportunity for Q&A with the speakers. You'll get opportunity to participate in the polls. So as you see the QR code on the left-hand side, and I will also add a URL link that will allow you to access the content that you're viewing on your screen. You can view it on your cell phone as well as your laptop devices as you join. We have also enabled closed captioning for our participants. I'll just drop a quick message in the chat with the link for the file that you're seeing as shared file. Go, it should have a code at the end, 2AYF3. A little bit about the agenda today. Welcome and housekeeping. As we are in Zoom setting, we'll review those pieces, introductions with panelists today, a little bit of information about online learning schedule, focus on artificial intelligence program overview and program feature, Q&A opportunity with industry partners, instructors, cybersecurity program overview, Q&A with instructor again for AI and cybersecurity domains, a little bit opportunity to connect with the practicum and career services, information on potential career paths, followed by breakout rooms opportunity with finance, admissions, and career services. Today, industry partners, we do have Florin Corcoras. It's just, he may have joined or is in the process to join. He's the principal of Stockema. A little bit about Florin. He's the principal of Stockema, a Canadian consulting engineering firm with over 30 years of experience, a licensed professional engineer in Ontario and Quebec with an MBA from Emory University. He has worked across the federal government, major hospitals, and the Canadian Armed Forces. A veteran Naval Combat Systems engineer officer as well, he specializes in leading complex multi-million-dollar projects in highly regulated environments. Today, he leads artificial intelligence-enabled and cybersecurity-aware engineering initiatives and actively supports students' practicums and industry partnerships, including Willis College. Welcome, Flo. We appreciate you taking time to join us for the webinar today. We'll also get, Mike, if Flo wants to just say hello, I think.
Just say thank you. Thank you for accepting me as a panelist.
Welcome, Flo. We also have a quick video from CEO and co-founder of ExaHive, Sam Punambalam. We'll get to view the video as well. From Willis Academics team, myself, Cyril, the campus director for online. We also have Jamie Wellsford with us, who is the faculty head for technology programs. Shivani with us. She's instructor for the artificial intelligence program. Alok is with us. He's the instructor for cybersecurity program. Career services team, we have Michael with us. Admissions and finance, we have Craig and Rosemary with us, who will be assessing questions for admissions and finance. We'll get going. A little bit about the schedule. We have Craig with us. Craig, can you fill us in with the schedule for online programs? Passing it over to you.
Okay, sure. Thanks, Asil. So for most programs, including the ones we're going to review today, they're divided between being synchronous and asynchronous. And for the 20% synchronous portion, that basically consists of combinations of live online lectures and recorded lectures. So instructors are going to run 4 live online lectures per week, Monday to Thursday. They're going to run some in the morning and some in the evening. You, as a student, depending on your schedule, you really have to only choose any combination of 2 for your live attendance. And that means camera on, microphone on, participating in the lecture. If, for example, you're working during the lectures that you don't attend live, you can watch the recording of that lecture and you follow up with a discussion post to make sure that you're following the sort of weekly flow of the instructor. For the other 80% of the program, it's independent learning. So labs, assignments, exams, studying, and things like that. And so you manage your 80% based on your schedule. And that's the majority of your live online theory for the program. For the data and AI faculty, at the end of your course, you're going to go into a practicum placement. That's when things change for you. That's when you're live on site in a business or company in your community to do the practical skills of the program.
Thank you, Craig. And please add your questions in the chat. Jamie or Craig or some other team member will make an effort to answer those as we cover content, but we'll definitely get going with content and answer questions on the go as well. So let's begin with the AI program overview. 3 programs, they're nested inside each other. The shortest one, we have the data analysis at 28 weeks, followed by the business intelligence analyst at 46 weeks, and the final program, 76 weeks, data analyst and artificial intelligence. So Craig, if I'm looking to enroll in this program, what type of skills should I have when I'm considering coming into these programs?
Okay, so for data analyst, I made a couple of notes just based on recent students. You obviously, in terms of skills, should enjoy working with numbers. You should be a detail-oriented person. You should be the kind of person who thinks logically and step by step. You should be patient, methodical, problem-solving, that sort of thing. And then, in terms of interests, your personal interests, you should want to know why something is happening, kind of have that urge to figure out why. You should want to, have an interest in turning data into meaningful information. And, you want to support decision making with the kind of person who supports decision making with facts rather than opinions.
Thank you, Craig. That's valuable information and insightful. Further, let's take a look at each program as well. Data analysis, like Craig was saying, you must have interest in data. So we have tools and application, Excel, SQL, database management. We want to look at areas such as, sales board, attrition rates. We want to see percentage decline in revenue, all of those, and a little bit of statistical understanding, because not only data, but how to make meaningful and informed decisions with that data is the focus point for the data analysis program, which is the entry point in the artificial intelligence program. When we look at the second program, Business Intelligence Analyst program, this is the midpoint. There's more transference towards the programming language, cleaning the data. You could have raw data, unstructured data. We are looking at cleaning that data and utilizing it for decision making. And once that cleans data is available, we are looking forward with some automation processes as well. So you could have exposure to variety of tools. You could work with some coding. You could also have some involvement with Google Sheets, depending on the organization need. Concepts and applications might vary. We all are familiar with the chatbot, for example, when we visit any automobile manufacturer, we see a pop-up generated on the right or left-hand side with a chatbot asking you what sort of automobile you're interested in. Even for government websites such as Canada Revenue Agency, we see Charlie, the chatbot that usually pops up when you visit the Canada Revenue Agency. So those are some examples. Some context around those is provided and shared by the instructor in these programs. And the last program, which is the longest, there's much more emphasis around the natural language processing. So we are in process of learning outcomes that focus heavily on teaching machines to understand the human language and the back-end piece of development of a chatbot. So pulling the outcome from the data that we have fed to the machine, also getting it to analyze and give the required output. So that does requires to certain extent image processing, and also making decisions based on the code or based on the question asked and so on. So I do have a question for you, Florin. From your experience with student practicums with Willis College, how does a strong alignment between Willis College programs and workforce needs support employer readiness and hiring? I'll pass it over to you, Florin.
What I can say is from the employer side, alignment is everything. It is what is make the difference between someone who knows the AI theory and who can actually join a team and deliver the job. As an example, we are currently working in the house with to develop a custom. We call it Nexus CRM, and it is not just about to build the model, but it also is to understand how to do all those connections between the database, calendars, emails, dashboards, all these things. And trust me, at the moment, you know how to connect the AI into a real system, the employer readiness bar goes very high. So basically, the people in here, the student, when after they are ready to join the practicum program, they need in this case, to already understand that what is the full delivery cycle, what is what are the requirements, what is the data quality, what are the testing we do it, documentation, and the version control. You see, because the AI goes, hands on hands with the cybersecurity, the security. So it's not like, oh, I didn't study security, I just studied the machine learning software. No, it doesn't work this way. It's everywhere a cross reference. Okay. So basically, you see, like when the Willis College is like you say, well aligned with the employer requirements, okay, and it teaches all those students the habits, the theory, the Git, the Power BI, the advanced skills in here, okay. Then all those things will reduce the risk for the employer when it's going to hire somebody, and when the student is going to do this 8-week practicum, it will speeds up his hiring.
Makes sense. Thank you, Flo. And we'll come back to what you said, like the tools and applications that they learn. Next slide is more about it. So I'll again request you to share some more feedback here as we instructors are with us, with throughout the AI program, they pick a lot of real world scenarios that revolve around human resource, sales, finance, and the decision making speed. That aspect where project wise financial ballpark number is tied that requires them to look at interactive dashboards to make the decisions, also project certain revenue models based on what they are seeing in trends, and leveraging those advanced skills in, from viewpoint of natural language processing and creating meaningful stories to explain the data in a non-technical manner. So Flo, if you looking back your experience with Willis, how where do you say, importance wise of tasks and projects that they've learned in the program for DTA, BIA, and AI, how valuable do you find those insights that they bring along and their relevance in the employment?
What I can say, you see, the projects are huge and are also, like let's say, very expensive. They involve, a lot of, financial budgets, especially in AI. If you just, want to, like, to throw us some numbers, $250,000, $500,000. So this is the gabarit of projects where, we go. It is not a project $25,000. Those are okay. So just by understanding those, okay, the student must understand he will never get hired just because he took a course. Okay, so in this case, what is important, get a good project, which is basically a mini job for you. Okay, and this one, it proves you that you can handle the real world, okay, conditions, which, when you go to do the practicum. Okay, during the practicum, you are allowed, to try, you are allowed to do mistakes, but you'll never be allowed to do mistakes for a $500,000 project. When you get your job, you'll get fired right away. But during the practicum, that's okay. It's a laboratory for you. Okay, so I give an example. You see, also you have, like, you started like a project for the mining. It's in the mining belt monitoring work, which is, we wanted to transform, the current equipment, which is digital, into an AI to, adapt, the equipment to the current technology. So in here, the same thing in here is important. Is not to understand the technical detection. What is, the real business value of this project? So when you come to work on this project, okay, you will understand, oh, damn it, this is so important in here. Okay, this is the impact because it affects, the mining. It affects, those clients, like, Barry Gold mining. Okay, very huge clients. Okay, and in this case, okay, the tasks are not just, practice. They are hiring assets. You can say, yes, I work for a project which, the final client is Barry Gold Canada, and, I deliver it, this task and this task and this task. I did try connection, didn't work. It's for me it was too much, but I am specialized in those three tasks. So this is, like an opinion, what is important, the task or the projects. Even if you don't can deliver a full project, you deliver, tasks, it's good, okay.
Thank you, Flo. I appreciate you providing valuable insights which highlight the importance of the projects that instructors get students to work on and also be prepared as they're going to see very similar situations in an employment setting where on a much tighter note that they would have a time frame for a project to be completed. So they get not only exposure right when they're learning, they also get the opportunity when they are in practicum to again have a second view or maybe more, and then have that added to their resume that they have worked on certain projects, which brings a lot of value in the long run. But now we'll talk about the program feature DTA, BIA, and DAAI. We'll get instructor Shivani to share some high-level summary around the key tools, like Florian was mentioning a while ago, the exposure. So Shivani, fill us in for each program. If you can give us a high-level summary in 2-3 minutes about the key tools that students learn in the artificial intelligence programs.
So thank you, Asil. So firstly, we start with the foundational tools in computers. And as Florian was actually mentioning, we start with database related software. So when you enter the data analyst program, we start with a language called structured query language, which is the language to interact with databases. So all the data is held in these databases, and these sources of data need to be interacted with. So we start with the foundational tools in the initial data analyst program. We learn structured query language, and we learn how to interact and extract data out of these different databases. SQL, in fact, is the key language that we use for retrieving information from MySQL, MongoDB, and multiple other languages. So it is the foundational language we use to interact with databases. But apart from that, we also learn how we can use Excel to be able to manipulate quickly our data sets, in fact, perform foundational cleaning activities so that we can identify, say, missing values or irregular values so that we can quickly work with the information. But our core tools and our core expertise lies in programming using Python. And we use multiple open source softwares as well as frameworks such as TensorFlow and Keras and PyTorch, which we start applying at the data analyst level itself. Here we further use multiple foundational statistical knowledge, so not advanced concepts, but concepts and statistics to be applied on the data to extract patterns. So even at the data analyst level, we have mathematical information or mathematical knowledge which is applied using Excel, using Python on the data that we extract from multiple different data sources. That's at the data analyst level. Then we build on top of those skills when we go to business intelligence analyst. And there we start interacting and manipulating the data, which is data wrangling, so that we can actually prepare it with the identification of the interaction between the data sets, as well as how the data would be as we make predictions. So then we start utilizing the data to present it to senior management, to present it to make decisions, to present it to make predictions. And that we use using ETL tools. So extraction, transformation, and loading. And we go to Power BI, we start working with Tableau. So advanced tools. But the core power lies once you start applying machine learning and all the as Florian was talking about applying it, say, for example, to an entire industry, that requires not only knowledge of the tools, but also domain knowledge and the entire life cycle. So how can you actually take a model and then build it on your laptop, but deploy it in the cloud? So all the tools related to it. So we start working with specialized tools depending on how or what is your domain. So if you're doing image processing, we will look at tools, say, YOLO, or we will look at specific image related libraries that will be used so that we can now use OpenCV, use convolution networks, maybe do object recognition, and then go ahead and apply them in state-of-the-art models, which we will deploy using Vertex API, using Flask API. So in terms of containerized Docker deployments in the cloud. So we, in fact, for our course, we give you access to the 3 separate cloud environments in Azure, in GCP, and in AWS, so that you can practice and deploy these applications in the cloud. So that entire cycle, starting from the point you got some data and the point that you deployed it and got a URL to go ahead and interact with that, that entire cycle is completed in the tools.
Thank you, Shivani. We'll come back to you for again a couple questions for the artificial intelligence programs. So moving further, now we'll take a look at the cybersecurity diploma, and we'll look at the 3 programs that are nested inside each other, beginning with the help desk and network technician support program, which has a practicum, followed by cybersecurity operator, 48 weeks. and cybersecurity analyst 64 weeks. Craig, I do have a question for you. If I'm considering to enroll in any of these programs, what type of skills should I have when I'm considering to enroll in one of these programs?
Okay, sure. So to maybe apply some skills to all three programs briefly, if somebody was looking at help desk technician, obviously they're going to want, strong problem-solving skills, very clear communication so that you can understand the problem and can communicate the solve to the employer or your colleague. You're going to need to know how to document solutions as well. That's another important skill. And obviously you have to want to help people and you need to be able to work in a fast-paced environment. If we go down to cybersecurity operator, you're going to also need to know how to follow security procedures. You need to be calm. You need to have decision-making capabilities under pressure, basic knowledge of networks. And then if we get to the analyst program, you're going to need strong, like investigative analytical skills. It's right in the title. Persistence with solving complex problems and, understanding how and why something happens. So not just protecting against an attack, but understanding the how and why, the forensics.
Thank you, Greg. So let's take, I believe there is a question. So I'll go back and allow you quick 5-7 seconds so you all can get your devices ready as well as the link. So you can refresh the page and we will have one question quickly pop up. The help desk network technician entry point. This has a practicum. Most of it is we look to our day-to-day life, like iOS update, Windows update. We have hardwares, point of sale systems. There might be a firmware update, device doesn't work. All of the troubleshooting aspect, if you were to summarize with one word for help desk, it's troubleshooting. Most of the time you're dealing with issues which are either software related or hardware related, or it might be a malfunction and so on. So this does require you to be very patient. If you're enrolled in this program, you have to think through support tickets. If you try to reach out for help, some of you might have experienced if you go to Apple Store to get some assistance with your device not working, backup, recovery, all of those aspects does fall under this program. Then we have the cybersecurity operator. As Craig was mentioning, we do need to understand the infrastructure a little bit, as well as the environment that the business is operating in. So therefore, we can ensure processes are in place for performance and reliability. And we have, an element which requires, as most of it is Windows based and other operating systems. So you have to have the knowledge to upskill the operational teams and promote the best practices. So this is much more of a critical thinking as well. And we have the cybersecurity analyst as the endpoint, which has a lot of aspects revolving around risk and threat assessment, red teaming, blue teaming, also privacy by design, security by design, development and implementation of the frameworks, also disaster recovery planning. We all heard about the Amazon outage. How much does it cost really when there is a business outage? We heard about outage for Cloudflare as well. So those things, now they have a financial value attached to it. And when they experience outage, they're losing revenue. It's affecting automated order processing for Amazon, for example. And security policies and guidelines to ensure that, not only that they are in place, but are they actually working? Are they aligned with the compliance standards? So PCI, ISO, all of those, monitoring networks for emerging threats, because there will be threats. And there's, again, an interesting slide around AI and emerging threats as we go along the content. So now, one more important piece regarding the cybersecurity domains and a little bit about quantum computing. So we'll get Alok, if you can speak to the cybersecurity domains such as penetration testing, digital forensics, Windows Server and identity security, Azure, as well as Fortinet, and help us with a little bit of high level summary for encryption as well as blockchain and the cyber attacks.
Good.
I'll pass it
Thank you.
over to you.
Thank you, Asil, for this one. So, guys, hi, I'm one of the instructor of the technical program, especially in the cyber security, cyber sector. So, we totally focused on the quality work. So, pen testing, digital forensics. Here, you will get the concept plus the practical experience, the hands-on experience. So, will make you guys pro in pen testing to find the bugs. Even in your personal life, if you get some personal project, how you guys can find the bugs, what kind of tools, techniques that you guys need to use, that kind of mindset, that kind of logic will gonna develop in you guys. But obviously, you have to do a little bit of homework, whatever your instructor says. Digital forensic, how you need to investigate if you find some any digital evidence, let's say your pen drive or a computer, how you can extract the data from WhatsApp, those kind of encryption, how you guys can get into the data by breaking those encryption as per the law enforcement legally. Windows Server, how here will help you how you can make policies, how you can construct policies. You can be a policy maker, how you can make a business community program, disaster recovery, everywhere, Gmail, Facebook, X.com, LinkedIn. In every company, we have a disaster recovery. Even in the Willis College, we have a disaster recovery. How you can make it, all things will help you guys understand all the logics. But yes, you have to do a little bit of homework, but rest is your instructor will help you, will guide you how you can make all these things. Plus, on the top of that, will also help you in preparing interviews, what kind of question that you guys will gonna face, how you have to answer, what kind of terminologies the interview wants to look in you. Plus, we also focus on Azure. It means cloud security. If you want to create your own business as well in future, so we'll make Windows Server and the cloud security combined together, and will help you how you can construct or how you can make a very good platform for the cloud security without policies, but with cloud security. It means on the next level. Second, last, Fortinet. Fortinet, we know Fortinet is the next generation firewall. One of the branches is in Ottawa and the Vancouver. That's next generation firewall. So we'll give you hands-on experience on Fortinet, FortiAnalyzer, how it works. So once you have those hands-on experience, you guys can start applying jobs in Fortinet because you have experience, you worked on those Fortinet tools. Now, if we'll talk about quantum computers, we are here for our students, not for making our students to give the knowledge to get the diploma, but also we are making our students to prepare for next coming 20 years, because the next 20 years, first 10 years for quantum attacks, and the next 10, 20 years for quantum plus AI attacks. That our Shivani will going to talk on that one for the AI, but the quantum computers, US is already started preparing to secure banks, and Canada is already invested heavy amount for quantum computers. As of now, we have in range of 1 to 5 qubits of quantum computer, but that's a prediction. In this coming 9 years, if you have 1,000 qubits of quantum computers, it can break all blockchains, your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, your banks, your Scotiabank, your TD banks. So we already started, and yes, we as a Willis College, we are already educating students how you guys can mitigate and how you guys can avoid this kind of quantum attacks. So all this thing is already we are educating and we are providing all the solutions. So yes, not only this one, there are so many things. If I'll start, so it will be endless, guys. But yeah, thank you, Asil.
Thank you, Alok. Appreciate you providing context to the security domains and the upcoming future as well in terms of quantum computing. We'll get going further. Here's the information. Like Florence has mentioned some about it for the process wise. Alok was referring to quantum computing, and Shivani also talked about a little bit, from the viewpoint of artificial intelligence. And this is where things get interesting, the role of artificial intelligence and machine learning languages in defense as well as in offense. So Shivani, if you can give us a little bit of high level summary again in terms of aspects such as threat detection, automation and response, as well as predictive capabilities when we look at all of these advanced technologies.
Absolutely, Asal. So when we look at this merging or this marriage between cybersecurity and artificial intelligence, AI is actually changing the way we look at cybersecurity. We can now use AI not only to protect ourselves, but anyways, hackers are using it as offensive security, as a part of their offensive target. So now everything will be automated. So if you are looking at your application, you no longer have to run the test. AI agents will run the testing for you, identify vulnerability discovery. So automatically vulnerabilities will be discovered in your application, and the application can also craft malware so that it will specifically target you. In fact, you may have already started to observe something related to social engineering. You may be getting personalized calls over voice over IP, which take your name and then address you and answer questions back to you. So, using automated tools, hackers are actually targeting you, sending personalized voice over IP messages. So, you get voice calls and they take your name, and this, and it looks like you are interacting with a real person, which is not true. All right. And then they may say, press 1 to connect. And you may not even be interacting with a real person. It could be an AI agent who's trying to go ahead and trick you into sending something. So that's one part. So using automation, they are actually able to trick you into sharing information. So that's a new attack. Even emails, they are no longer just mass bulk emails that are coming to you. They are actually going ahead and they are utilizing social engineering, personalized messages which are sent based on your activity, based on your cookies and sessions. Hackers are aware that you have visited these websites, so they will send you personalized messages. So now using automation, you can go ahead and you can use these. So AI will automate vulnerability discovery for you, as well as do personalized attacks on the targets that hackers can identify. And not only that, even in terms of antiviruses. So while antiviruses may be looking at known threats, hackers are quickly rewriting programs in the malware to be able to evade detection. And not only that, they are actually able to predict how the antivirus will be responding. So quickly doing polymorphically changing the code so that the hackers are always 1 or 2 steps ahead and the antiviruses and the anti-malware softwares. This is only from the attacking side. From the defense side also, AI is working, one, to reduce the number of alerts that are generated by identifying the false positives. In fact, when you have many infrastructure devices, they are generating so much data and so many events. It is not possible for just a few SOC analysts to do the job. So you have artificial intelligent agents, including the recent one, which is called SOAR, which will automate not only detection of the incidents, but it will actually do quick response. So you don't need a human person to respond. The AI will itself identify, and it will know the steps that it needs to perform to quickly contain the incident and then respond back. Yes, the nature of the job that a SOC analyst is supposed to do is going to change. Why? Because now you will be responsible to monitor how multiple agents who are nothing but intelligent agents working on your behest will be performing the activity. You are just there to supervise and intervene if you feel something is anomalous. So everything and new attack vectors, new TTPs are being predicted directly from there. So it is getting difficult for the adversary as well as getting easier. And there is only more to do. All right. So AI is going to further marry into cybersecurity, giving new threat actors, even APTs, advanced persistent threat, have to be novel in terms of identifying. Even quantum computing has to be novel in terms of going ahead and tracking the newer attacks that that AI will do for quantum computing. So new stuff, every day new exploits are getting identified using AI.
Thank you for the high-level summary, Shivani. I do recall, like, there is a website called Have I Been Pawned that just tells you whether your email has been part of, if it has been ever hacked or so. But now the way you are explaining it is just going at next level, like maybe a mobile application could just do the entire work for you and give you the whole report. So it's just the way automation seems to be taking place in the AI stream.
Absolutely right. They are so these are the new they are agentic AI workflows. They are They will take an entire summary of what type of activities you do, cookies, browsers, and then they sophisticated attacks targeting you or your organization. So, newer form of phishing and veiling and spear phishing. I think Alok will explain better in his class, but everything automated.
Thank you, Shivani. I'll go ahead. We do have a video activity, so I'll stop share for a bit and then screen share again. I will appreciate the thumbs up as soon as I bring up the video. There we go. I will go to the screen. There we go. And I want to make sure I have enabled sound sharing. There we go.
Hi.
All right. Are we all able
Hi,
to
my
hear
name
the
is
sound?
Sempan Mbellam, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Exahive. Exahive is a cybersecurity company focused on secure communications, cybersecurity, AI, post-quantum cryptography education, governance, risk and compliance, cyber and AI audits, responsible AI practices, and virtual CISO, which means a Chief Information Security Officer services. We're a small business, but we work with a wide range of clients, from not-for-profits and small organizations all the way up to the United Nations. We have offices in Canada and the US and a small presence in the UK. Even though we're small, our work is global and meaningful. And that's important for you to understand. Our relationship with Willis College dates back to at least 2015, and it's been a long and positive relationship. Over the years, we've hosted many Willis graduates as interns. Those interns came from the cybersecurity and data analytics programs. Some have moved on to other organizations, but we're still in touch with a lot of them. And I'm happy to say that one Willis graduate is still part of our team today. This tells you something important. When we find good people, we actually invest in them. What we look for in recent graduates. When we consider a recent graduate, we're not expecting perfection. What we do look for is curiosity. Are you genuinely interested in learning? Foundational knowledge. You don't need to know everything, but you do need to know the basics. Ethical mindset, especially in cybersecurity, AI, and data analytics. Problem-solving ability. Can you think through an issue, even if you don't know the answer yet? And willingness to ask questions. Silence is more dangerous than asking. Technical skills matter, but your mindset actually matters just as much. So keep that in mind. What a career path can look like. A career in cybersecurity or data analytics is not a straight line. A typical path might look like intern or junior analyst or consultant, specialized roles in cyber, AI, privacy, or risk. Or you could look at eventually becoming a senior analyst, architect, or advisory roles. And then finally, leadership paths like governance risk compliance lead, AI governance lead, or even a CISO. Some of you will remain in the technical side of things, but some of you will move into risk compliance, governance, or leadership. All of those paths are valid, and all of them are definitely needed in this space. Your first job does not define your entire career. It simply starts it. So this is a wonderful journey that you're all on. Now, the importance of soft skills. This really matters. This is something that many graduates underestimate. Soft skills are not nice to have. They are essential. That includes clear communication, listening, not just talking, writing emails and reports that make sense, being professional, even under pressure, and working well with people who are not technical. In cybersecurity and data analytics, you'll often be explaining risks to executives, legal teams, and non-technical stakeholders. If you can't explain the issue clearly, the best technical solution won't be used. Now, my final advice to the soon-to-be graduates and those who are looking at your journey in the space is a few final thoughts. Be humble. You're here to learn. Be ethical. Trust is everything in the field. Be curious. Technology will keep changing. And be human. People matter as much as systems. There is a real need for responsible, thoughtful professionals in cybersecurity, AI, and data analytics. We don't just need smart people, we need really good, ethical people. Thank you, and I wish you all the success in your careers, and welcome to this wonderful journey.
All right, that's the end of the video, and I will go back to the original slide. Michael is with us. He will be staying back. He can speak to about the practicums and career services, what practicum is. He can explain you about the different programs. So he's with us, and he is also able to provide a little bit additional information about the potential career paths. So if you have any questions which you want to ask to Michael, please do stay back. And that also allows me to open the floor if you have admissions questions for Craig. We would like to also thank today Flo. We appreciate you taking time and joining us. If you have any last words, please do feel free to share that with our crew here. Floor is all yours.
Thank you very much, Acer. What can I say is before I will wrap is this practicum is about 35 hours per week. So please understand, guys, it is a kind of like a short full-time spring. So even if it's like but this one it's a good thing for you because it is designed so by the end of the practicum you learn something into a real employer grade work. I think this is the most important output. And in this case, 35 hours per week, employers usually treat the practicum like a junior role, really full time. You have to be there 35 hours, not 2 hours, and then you do something on Sunday. You see, it has to be like like yes, crystal clear, right? And it's also that no employers, guys, will ever ask you what did you study. They will always ask you what did you build, what did you test, how you document it, okay, and whatever, if you can deliver the tasks on time, okay. If you are currently working, don't be discouraged, okay. You need just to plan realistically what you are going to do, okay. Sometimes you can take a temporary off work, okay, or you can align the practicum with your current employer if it's possible, okay. But it also the most important thing is that it has to be aligned with what you studied under supervision, okay. And I wanted you to be very confident if at the end of the practicum you can get a demo and deliverables. Those one you can show very confident during interviews, and this is what accelerate your hiring. It is not the resume. That's I wanted to say at the end.
Thank you, Flo. I appreciate you shedding some light on the practical aspect and treating practicum as a job. That's what Michael always lays emphasis on, that practicum is very equivalent to job. So be prepared, treat practicum like a job, and show up and learn the skills and acquire them that are important for you to transition into workforce. I'll stop share. And Craig is with us. Mike is also with us. We have two mics. So as you see, one is Michael for Career Services, and one we have Mike Mishlavi. He's here to help us out with admissions questions as well. Once again, I'll thank the other crew. I'll stay back with Craig and Mike. And thank you, Alok. Thank you, Shivani. Thank you, Flo, for taking time to join us. I'll just stick around with admissions folk for any questions that participants have.